Do not be afraid of challenges. Unless you don't have challenge, you don't progress. My main research is genetic algorithm. It's related to combinatorial optimization problems.
And now you can speak Russian.
Чуть-чуть.
Maybe.
I love academia. I love working in academia. I really love presenting something for other people or talking for audience.
What does the faculty of computer science mean to you?
Everything.
Hello, it's ChatFCS, and today we have a special guest, professor and postgraduate student of the Department of Data Analysis and Artificial Intelligence, Majid Sohrabi. Hello, thank you for joining us today.
Hello, thank you for inviting me for the talk.
It's great to have you here today. And my first question is, how did your journey in science begin, and what first interested you in computer science?
I can answer this question in with surprising because always I was interested in science, but I was never thinking about studying computer science in the beginning because of some reasons. Maybe there were a lot of people around me who were doing computer science. That's why I didn't want to start any program in computer science, even from bachelor. But with the advice of some relatives, I would say, or family, I choose computer science as one of the least option because I was always thinking I don't like it. And I got into computer science, and after that I started to love it. And now I can consider I really love this program, and I don't imagine myself in any other program, and quite boring to be in any other program like that I had initially in my mind to get into those programs.
And since what age you're interested in science?
So when I did my high school, there was a big exam for all the high school students, and by the result of this exam, they give a ranking around the country, ranking to all the students, and based on this ranking, you can choose the program, university, and city around my country with a different type of program. I mean, this type of exam, it's not very specific for the computer science program. It's mostly general exam. And after this ranking, you can choose which program you want. I mean, it's a mix of different program, different city, different universities. And computer science was surprisingly one of my last option, but I got into this program.
And did you have any early inspirations or role models in computer science?
Not really. Till high school, I never had any programming courses. I was not familiar with any sort of programming languages, any projects. And I started all my maybe research study around computer science when I got into a bachelor program in the age of almost 18.
And let's talk about your studying in Moscow. How did you decide to pursue your master's in Moscow?
After finishing my bachelor program, I was planning always to study abroad for higher level education, master, PhD, and maybe postdoc. I was thinking back then. I applied for several universities. I had several opportunities, but out of my options, I found HSE and Moscow is more better choice for me that time. That's why I decided to study in HSE in Moscow.
Mm-hmm. And what challenges did you face with the relocation?
I would say the first challenge I faced was the weather, but I quite enjoy the winter in Moscow. But it was the first time
Winter.
I really enjoy the weather in Moscow. And because my personality is I easily accustomed to the situation or the environment that I am. It was always in different part of my life. It happened. And but first year it was shocking a little. I came to Moscow in the second year of my master program because I was studying online in the first year because of COVID. The border was closed. And I came to Moscow in, I guess, November 2021. It was in the middle of almost in the middle of my second year program for master, and it was almost in the beginning of the harsh winter. It was really cold, and I remember that time I was always thinking, okay, I don't want this place, it's very cold, and for me it's annoying. But gradually I started to love it, and both weather and the city and the everything around me in Moscow and Russia.
And now, what do you like more, winter or summer in Moscow?
I would say definitely summer, because in summer you have more advantages that you don't have in winter. In summer, you can enjoy the green environment and walking freely on the street, in the park, without any harsh clothes and heavy clothes. And you can stay outdoor as much as you want, but here no, you just need to pack everything. You cannot enjoy staying outside. When you are outside, you get freezing, you get very cold, and you have to move to a warm place, right? So that's why I feel summer for me works also better.
And what about language barriers? Do you experience any of them while working here?
Definitely, there are some limitations when you don't know the language of the country, the local language of the country. But I always could make it, because I'm quite tough person, and I can do everything even with this barrier, and it doesn't affect me a lot. So because some people, they may suffer, they don't know language, they cannot make a proper conversation, and they cannot do their job in bank, in other maybe places. It bothers them a lot, but for me not. And because I still don't know Russian properly. And after almost 3 or 4 years, because I was always busy with my education and also my full-time work, I didn't have much time to study for Russian. But the good news is, in the last months, I started to take Russian course with some friends and colleagues, and we started to learn Russian.
And now you can speak Russian.
Чуть-чуть.
Maybe
Yeah,
чуть-чуть.
my word limited and statements that I can tell and express is, okay, карта и налична. Packet нужна? Нет, спасибо, не нужен.
To go to the
I mean, just a
supermarket.
store in this. Very basic conversations.
Okay, and what advice would you give to people who are considering moving abroad for studies or work?
It's a good question. I believe there are very critical points, and everybody need to consider. First of all, if you are moving for education, definitely you should take the language very serious, especially in the first place English, because a lot of university, especially also HSE, they have English programs, and there are a lot of students moving to Moscow, to HSE, to study their program in English. So definitely it's very good. As a first place, you should focus on English, because your communication with your supervisor, with your staff, and your courses will be in English. And also, if you are doing scientific work, you are reading papers which is written in English. Even me, my native language is Persian, Farsi. I don't search for a paper in Farsi to read. I search for English. There's several ways. There are some people I met, they just copy an English paragraph of a scientific paper, they put it in Google Translate to see what is the translation. But there are some drawbacks. They may not understand fully what happens inside these paragraphs, because the translation has some biases and many other difficulties. And the second advice is, if you are moving to a country which is the English is not the first language or local language, you definitely better to focus on the language of that country, like Russian here, because of several reasons. First of all, probably a lot of Russian people prefer to communicate in Russian. And in an academic sphere, you feel you are safe, because you can communicate with everybody, almost everybody. In English, it's fine, but in a personal life, you may find it a little difficult. And another thing is, if you know the language of local language of the country, there will be a huge work opportunity for you. For example, I lost a lot of my opportunity almost 3-4 years ago, before I start my work at HSE, because I didn't know Russian. And you submit your application like by Hunter or some other applications for finding a job. They reject you because you don't know Russian. It's quite logical. And other things is be brave and do not be afraid of challenges, because you're moving abroad. You don't have your family, your relatives around you. You need to cook. You need to wash your clothes probably. You need to go for shopping, and you need to all the stuff yourself. And also there's another side. You may get some illnesses, definitely, and then you're still alone with all these works, and there's nobody to take care about you. Yes, because I had this situation. I had a situation 2 years ago. I was alone, but thanks to my one of my Russian friend who helped me, because I had a small kidney stone, and it passed, fortunately. But that time I noticed being far from the family, relatives, and being alone, it can be also sometimes harsh. And so the third one is being brave and accept challenges, because unless you don't have challenge, you don't progress, you don't get experience. And I would say the fourth one, which is also important, is do not think always wherever you are going, there will be a red carpet for you, and then you just walk on the red carpet and everybody cheers you. But accept the difficulty, because you're going there to do study hard, work hard, and then in return you get the knowledge and maybe a reputation if you're working in academia, by publishing paper, by collaborating with different researchers.
And was it easy for you to make this decision for relocation?
Yes, for me it was easy, because I was thinking about relocation and studying master abroad. Even before getting into bachelor program, I was thinking about this idea at the end of my high school, and I was trying during my bachelor and preparing myself for this maybe big move.
Mm-hmm.
And so there wasn't something surprising comes. I mean, it was a decision, long-term decision.
And what motivated you to continue studying and plan to write a PhD here?
Maybe a lot of things, but one of the one of the major one was opportunity, job opportunity, because I got into teaching position 2 months earlier than starting PhD. But of course, I also earlier applied for PhD for HSE. And also it happened because after I coming to Russia, and I started to love it, and so I decided to stay. And then when I got to HSE in person in the second year of master, I liked the university, environment, people, and so I made this decision to stay, and why not?
And how did you choose your research supervisor and your research topic?
Mm-hmm. It's also a good question, because the supervisor I have currently, we were working on my master thesis. So I know him even before my PhD study, and I quite like to work with my supervisor. And by the way, my supervisor is Professor Gromov. And I decided to continue my work with him. And the topic I am working on now, it's related to some operational research, working on meta-heuristic algorithms like genetic algorithms, simulated annealing, and these were the research I was doing even from bachelor. So I had a bunch of experience from bachelor, and then I started master at HSE in data science program. I stopped, I made a pause in my previous research. But now it's a mixture of my PhD research about genetic algorithm, how to improve this method. In addition, I'm also working with machine learning, deep learning, and some sort of medical data analysis, emotional detection in online, maybe posts, in tweets, and with my students. And it's a combination of different research, but my main research is genetic algorithm. It's related to combinatorial optimization problems.
Can you explain your research topic in simple terms for people from other spheres to understand what you're doing?
Yes, definitely. As an example, I can tell you first, we have a sort of problems. I mean, it's not one problem, and it's a huge number of problems. We call them combinatorial optimizations. As an example, we can consider assigning patients to beds in operating rooms as a combinatorial optimizations, which patient to which room at which time, for example. How this decision comes. What if we have a lot of operating room, lot of patients for a big horizon of time, for example, for 30 days, how we can optimize it. Here the meta-heuristic methods comes, they are not exact methods, but they rather with some mechanism try to search on the solution space. But this sort of methods, they have some limitations and drawbacks in them. It's an inherent limitation. And in my research topic, for my PhD, I'm addressing these problems to improve this sort of methods by extracting some pattern from the population they generate, because this method, the genetic algorithm specifically, it starts with a population of solution, and with a crossover and mutation operator, it tries to search on the solution, search space. And at some point, this population can converge to a local minima, and there's little thing you can do. At some iteration, the population looks like each other. So my goal is to not converge very fast, to find a next local minimum, or even in a best case scenario to find the global minimum, which is the final target of this method. And with some extracting some pattern, using some pattern of the good solutions in and also the selection process, and we are considering different sort of ideas to improve the actual method.
And where it will be able to use it in some maybe in some practical spheres.
So the example I made with operating room is quite practical, and it's widely used, this sort of methods and problems in logistic sphere. For example, you want to establish some factories, you have several a huge number of customers. These customers cannot be just even a single person. I mean, it can be a center, a place to transfer some products from a factory to satisfy the demand of these customers. And these are all the customer. During COVID, if you remember, we had, the global, they had some problem of to optimizing the transferring of the vaccine to different places, to different cities, to different countries. I mean, the road you take and when you travel. Because I remember there was some situation, or how to say, in some condition you have to keep this medicine or these vaccines, and you are paying for keeping them in a specific, for example, temperature, keeping them somewhere. And if you take some, some steps, you may pay a lot of cost. This cost can be by the mortality of people if you don't transfer the vaccine on time, or you can waste a big proportion of the vaccine by keeping them for a long time. Or, these are the applications that you can find in real life.
Mm-hmm. And one more question about science. Maybe who or what inspires you in science? Is there anybody?
Maybe what inspires me is better, because I like the medical and healthcare and the medicine sphere. That's why one of the recent problem I was considering to solve by this method is operating room scheduling problem. And I'm working with some EEG data as well with my student to find some confusion, or some sort of confusion, let's say, during watching online material, because it's quite hard. sometimes students in the offline classes, they show by reaction. I don't know, they scratch their head, they show some faces that you may notice the student confused about the material you said. But after COVID, the globe, they moved to online learning in the first place. Still, they are continuing in a big majority of places. And how to define based on the student's reaction in online form. Like, we don't have such information. So we have some EG data collected from some experiment, and we are going to improve some models, or like there are existing models that we want to improve these techniques for getting a more accurate estimation. And also, I would love to see or work on the field that I can bring my contribution into a medical field. I mean, one of the impressive thing that I'm considering is how the AI helps the hospitals, clinics, and different sort of even diseases, how to improve the patient in a better way, how to diagnose faster, or finding the reason of I don't know, some rare diseases, mental disorders, I don't know, cancer. And maybe the application of AI can help to solve a lot of sort of diseases. And actually, it's my dream. That's why it motivates me in this way.
And do you have any goals not in medicine sphere, some science goals?
To achieve
Yes,
in my personal life, you mean?
Yes.
So, yes, I love academia. I love working in academia, and the goal is to grow and build a good reputation by good publication. And about even working in academia, I didn't like to teach at all in the beginning. And this is actually because most of my people around me, like relative and family even, they are in a teaching position in a school and university. And this was one of the reasons I didn't like to get into the teaching. Because my answer to this question is connected to this one. And I started my education in bachelor. In the second semester, I started to be a teaching assistant for a course. It's a programming course, which I passed already in the first semester. And as a teaching assistant, I was doing seminar, like 1 hour, almost and a half. I was solving exercises for students, writing programming and explaining them. From that time, I learned I really love teaching. I really love presenting something for other people or talking for audience. So that's why this goal is to be a professor. I mean, the actual, like to grow in this field.
And was it difficult for you to start teaching in Russia?
No, I would say it wasn't, because I was as a teaching assistant for several semesters in my bachelor. So I got experience, and I developed very initial skills from that time. And when I started here, I would say I learned a lot, but it wasn't difficult. But I was developing my skill, because I knew that time, okay, I'm good if I teach. Probably I won't be good if I go to other work, because but unless I don't try, I never know. But I would say, in terms of presenting something for other people, talking for an audience, I would say I have this like skill or confidence to do it.
And are there any differences between teaching here in Russia and teaching in your first university?
Yes, definitely, because here is more serious. Here I have a serious lecturer or seminarian position. And this is not maybe a very big difficulty, but I can say even the language. I was teaching in Farsi, in my own language, for people in my country. But now here I'm teaching to international students and also Russian students from different countries, with different level of knowledge and skills and even language. And I started to teach in English. So English is not my first language. So of course there would be a little difficulty to accustom with such a situation and a sphere.
Are many students know English at a high level to communicate with them?
In my classes, yes.
Yes.
The majority knows English, but there are some limited students that they suffer still from the knowledge of English. But I would say the majority understands in a university level, and it's quite nice.
And what teaching methods do you find the most effective when educating students in data analysis and machine learning?
What methods?
Methods, yeah.
I mean, the machine learning methods or
No.
the teaching maybe.
Yes, teaching.
I mean, there's something that you know naturally, and it's hard to teach because I'm not a teacher in to teach people how to teach. I mean, I'm teaching like this type of subjects. I mean, one of them is you should know how to control the situation or how to express different sort of topics. And
It's a secret, just.
no, it's not a secret, but I don't know how to tell about it, how to explain it. It's quite hard. I mean, some things comes naturally, and
Yeah,
you're not aware about it, and you're doing naturally.
You just feel how to do it.
Yes, it should happen in the place. Yeah.
Okay, and a question about the artificial intelligence. How do you see the future of artificial intelligence and its impact on various aspects of life?
Nowadays, it's quite overwhelming. It tries to connect everything together because always I make this example like computer science and AI. It's like an object with lots of hands, and it tries to put the hands on different fields and to help different fields. This example because this is an example because I see the situation. There are different programs that coming to us, and for example I teach Python and data analysis for different sort of programs which they are not computer science. So I believe the future of AI would be maybe scary at one side, and another is quite helpful because AI is a tool and you as a human decide how to use it. And in terms of like ChatGPT, even it has good side and bad side. Even I use ChatGPT. I don't say I use it in daily life every day, but sometimes I try to get some help because nowadays you have a task. It's not always the matter of solving a task, but actually how fast you solve this task. Like when I started to study in bachelor and master level, maybe there was not much ChatGPT or AI in that sense. So I tried to learn everything myself. But nowadays, students are using just ChatGPT probably to solve some tasks, and it doesn't help them to learn. So I would say the future of AI would be bright and it develops a lot, but it might have some other negative aspects as well.
And what do you think about the theory that one day artificial intelligence will be smarter than people?
It can be. Sometimes I don't say very smarter because the AI for now is developed to do very complicated thing faster. But maybe in future it might happen to be even smarter. Because you should expect anything, because before having a smartphone or even phone, nobody was thinking about, the majority of people not thinking about, okay, there will be a phone, people can connect from this country to another country, and then the phone came, and then a smartphone, you have a video call with other people, and this technology, which was impossible before, it came to now it's possible. I mean, everything I guess that human can think about it and they try to achieve it, it would be at the end possible.
Okay, and a few questions about your hobbies. How do you spend your free time?
So I would say I work after work, um, but it's just a joke. But I like ping pong, and I'm good at it. I put people into challenge. But of course, there are a lot of people who are better than me. But I play. I won't say very good, but I play good. I know how to play, and I love and enjoy playing ping pong. I play badminton, and I love watching movies, but probably recently in the last few years, I started to watch less movies because I don't have time. But other hobbies is visiting new places, maybe. Yeah.
Do you know there are a few tables for ping pong here in HC? Yeah.
We play with colleagues. Yes.
And about watching movies, at what language do you watch them?
Mostly English.
In
Yeah,
English.
I prefer to watch
And do you
English.
have your favorite one?
I love action movies, but if you want specifically, I love the movies like John Wick.
And you also said about new places. Do you like walking somewhere near our university or visiting places, some specific places in Moscow?
Not specific places, but walking just without any goal to go to different street for the first time you see. Because mostly, if you don't go outside, you mostly live underground, because the public transportation here is quite nice, and you go outside your house, you go to metro, and then you go up on the ground near your workplace. I mean, mostly it happens we go underground. So it would be nice to just walk around the city, see different parks. But of course, if I have time, because in the last maybe 2 years at least, it was quite hard for me to find free time.
And was it a difficult experience for you to use metro? Maybe in Moscow?
Never. It happened, you don't notice you miss one station, but the good thing is I know alphabet, I can read words, and also there are some English words, so you can definitely read them. But in navigating, I'm good, and I use map. I'm very friendly with map, unless it's not raining. Because when it's raining, you want to go to new places, it confuses, and it also confuses you.
And since moving to Russia, have you discovered any new hobbies or interests here?
I don't say I discovered new hobbies, but I would say I started the old hobbies again. For example, I stopped playing badminton, I stopped playing ping pong, and I would love to like start again gym. I mean, going to gym to exercises. Still, because of the limitation of time, I stopped. I started skating in ring. I mean, one time I went with a friend. I couldn't stand on my feet. I could stand, but I didn't. I couldn't know how to. I didn't know how to move. So it was a fail. So I didn't. But I would love to learn one day.
Did you try skiing in the winter
No.
here?
The
No.
only try was to ice skating on rink, and but it was one time I couldn't know how to do it. I really suffered, so I stopped for the second
You
time.
should try it again.
Maybe in future, why not?
And did you have any real challenges, maybe with transport or some other aspects of life in Moscow in the beginning of your living here? Maybe something
thinking
that
about it,
you didn't have in your city and you moved here and it was strange for you, maybe.
Not really, because I was always preparing myself for the new challenges.
Wow.
And the only thing was a little surprise in the beginning was weather. And I never had a difficulty to go to a bank, open a bank account, buy a SIM card in initial points. And always I used Google Translate. And fortunately, people who were communicating with me, they were quite accepting and they were quite nice. And that's why I didn't feel such a difficulties.
So you are always ready for everything.
I'm always ready for every scenario, yeah.
Okay, thank you. And now I will ask you a few short questions, and just say the first thing that comes to your mind. Summer or winter? We have this question, but again,
Summer.
summer. Spring or autumn?
Both are beautiful, but spring.
Coffee or tea?
Definitely coffee.
You're a morning person or a night owl?
Morning.
Books or movies?
Can I pick both?
Yes, but one more question then. Do you read books written by Russian writers?
Not specifically, mostly in my language. I used to read a lot before, and also English as well. And the thing is, I enjoy both movie and book because I can live in those stories. I mean, it really affects me. And when I read, I really imagine myself there, and I cannot disconnect myself. But recently, because of time, I mostly focus on my scientific papers to read, to do something for my research.
Mountains or the sea?
Why did you pick some hard questions? But I would say mountain.
Cats?
Can I add something
yes,
here?
yes,
Because
yes.
the region I was living in Iran is a north of Iran. It's a green part, which is bounded by mountain and sea. We have Caspian Sea from one side, another side mountain. So, I mean sea and mountain. So that's why I love both of them. So it's very hard to pick one.
Cats or dogs?
Definitely dogs.
Why? Why not cats?
I love dog, especially German Shepherd.
Learning or teaching?
Teaching, maybe, because I learn also from my students. Yeah. Because if I just pick learning, I don't teach.
And finally, what does the Faculty of Computer Science mean to you?
Everything. This is a big proportion of my life happened to be in computer science. It's like a second home. And more than 10 years, I was studying and living in Faculty of Computer Science, and probably in different university. My university in bachelor, and also here as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you
You're
for your
welcome.
answers. Thank you for sharing your experience
Thank you
with
so
us.
much.